Good evening. I forgot to do it again, didn't I? I forgot to do it again. I just texted you saying I forgot to put us in the background again. But good evening and welcome to another show of Shadow Whispers in the Night. We do have a guest coming on, but he will be here in a minute or two or three or four. Tonight with me, as always, I have Miss Tracy Day.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you getting on with this weather?
Ask me another. No, I'm actually coping all right this time.
Good evening. How are you getting on with this weather?
I'm actually coping.
Do you know what? Normally, the first time I see sun, I'm out in it. I literally haven't this time. Hence the colour of me and the colour of you.
It is already there.
No, it's nice. I think it's because I have hay fever and all that, and I'm taking different medication for it. And you can see my eyes are a little bit watery, so I've been and so on. But I've been hibernating from the sun, which is not like me. So everyone's kind of like, I know my twin is saying to me, Jenny, love the sun. And everyone's telling me, love the sun. And I do love it, but it's not that friendly when it comes to, not the sun is not friendly when it comes to hay fever sufferers, but so I do worship the sun, but that is how it is.
Piriton's my favourite friend at the minute.
Huh?
Piriton is my favourite friend at the minute.
I was taking some Piriton last night, and it's the best thing for, I know, should I say this, for knocking me out to sleep. There's Miss Gillian in the house, as usual. How are you? How are you? Gillian was out with the horses today, and goats. Was it Guildford and Gladys? Two goats today. Oh, I love Guildford. I love Guildford. Yeah, I know. And there's a lot of horses as well, and one of them is Gillian's. I'd love to be down there with them, but I'd have to be like mask up and gloves, and because I'm allergic to horses' hair. And I found that out because I was going for an interview in a horse stables. And within 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the interview, my neck began to, swell up, and my nose began to close, my eyes began to shut, and so on and so on. Yes, and that's when I didn't get the job. I kind of didn't get the job. I didn't get the job.
To hear at the minute, because obviously, as I showed you earlier, like where I live, we've had massive fires, field fires, and it's been where horses' stables and the horses all are.
No. Is everything all right?
Well, it seemed earlier on, I haven't seen what it's like now, but earlier on they had dealing with one fire, and then the other side of the carriageway in the other fields, they all went up in flames. Like that, we could see them in like 3 towns, and away, just smoke everywhere. That's nice.
That's not good. My dog is kind of choking. Zach, are you okay, puppy? You okay?
And Zach says you are going to get up from that seat tonight.
Well, I will have to, because he brought some food up.
Lovely.
And my daughters are not here to scream at them, come down and do it. They're all having sleep outs tonight, so I have to do it all on my own tonight. Because they're getting older and they have the sleep outs now, so it's kind of like, this is what I'm going to feel like living on my own. So tonight's guest, we'll talk about what we're going to do later. But tonight's guest we have on is a fantastic guy, Adam Ramos. Adam Ramos is big into the paranormal, big into UFOs, which is what I want to talk about. It's the UFOs. So he's from San Antonio in Texas. I'm going to bring him on now. It's been a while working on this, the two of us, to get him on. It's been a while, but now we're finally sitting down. So I'm going to bring Adam on. Adam, are you ready there? Thumbs up if you're good. Can you hear me? Yay. Okay, so we're going to bring Adam on. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Finally, welcome.
I know. It's been...
We made it.
Yes, finally.
We made it. It's been a while. My eyes are teary because I've got hay fever and all that crack. But how are you doing today? How are you keeping?
Good. Just had the day off today from work, so I tried sleeping in this morning, which didn't happen.
You didn't. No, it was 9 o'clock.
It didn't happen.
It was 9 o'clock when you texted me, and it was afternoon for me. But and that's when I mailed you saying, "What are you doing up so early?" 9 o'clock is early for me. Mm.
So
And you're out shopping and so on. What's the weather like over there? And I know it's in San Antonio, but we're not moaning about the heat here in Ireland and in the UK, but Tracy is. Tracy, Adam Tracy. I didn't introduce you, sorry.
No.
But we are having a heat wave here at the moment.
I heard
Yeah.
my friend up in Belfast was enjoying it this morning earlier.
Yes, it is. That's what I was saying, that I actually hibernated. God, my words are arthritic tonight. Hibernated from the sun this year, which is not like me. I did sit out yesterday, and my twin is giving out to me. My friends are giving out to me. I hope you're sitting in the sun. I don't know what's happening that I didn't this year, but tomorrow is supposed to be breaking. It's supposed to be like thunder and lightning and all of that tomorrow. I'm here on my own, so I'm going to make sure that I am drunk when it happens, because I have a fear of thunder and lightning, and I'm in the house by myself. So that little cupboard over there, I'm going to be sitting in there with all of my dogs and cats. And oh, you're kidding me, Gillian? Oh, well, Gillian's down the country. Gillian, keep it. Do not send it to me. Keep it, because I'm here on my own, and I don't really want to be sitting in the neighbour's back garden. And the police will come at 2 a.m. with flashlights.
You can send it over here to Texas.
Oh, you can have it if you want to. I do not want it. Hi, Sherry. I do not want it. There's my dog. Dad, are you having a moment tonight? No, he's okay. He's okay. Oh, he's not. Let me go check on my dog. Sak, you okay?
Oh,
He's wagging his tail. He's eating the food and then he's coughing, and then he's eating the food, then he's coughing. But no, he's okay. I'll check it out.
good.
So, Adam, welcome. What are we
Yes.
talking about? What are we talking about tonight? I want to talk. I'm going to tell you what we're talking about.
That's more like it. That's what I expect from an Irish woman.
You know us Irish women. I'd
Mhm.
like to talk about, well, obviously paranormal, which covers the whole board, but I'd like to talk UFO, which we don't
Yes.
do often. We don't do often. And I'm looking for your background that you had done before. Where's your background? You know that big thing that you had made. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
That big
Well,
had made. Oh, what?
I funny you say that because about an hour ago I put it up nice and neat, even. I haven't stood back and make sure it was even nice and straight. But the thing is, the time difference between y'all and me is that the sun is still bright, and so like me facing it, like this brightness of the outside, like makes me look dark-ish. If that makes
Right.
sense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
And it's let me try to like it's kind of like bright. So
Oh,
like
here it is.
you would have
Here it is.
yeah, like I said, I had it set up and everything.
Turn it around there.
But
Can
it's
you
just-
see that you have the UFO, you have the pyramids, you have the Sasquatch, you have the ghost. What's the other three at the bottom?
The Flatwoods monster, the very
Right.
bottom, the okay, why can't I remember that name right now? The Dover Demon, the one in
Oh,
white,
Lord.
and then the Mothman with the red eyes.
That is so cool.
That's brilliant.
Do love that. I do love it. Did you get that made for you?
Yes. There's this local company here in San Antonio where they make all sorts of banners and flags. And I think it was about a year ago, I went up to them and I took a sketch. I'm like, hey, can y'all
do. I
do
love
this, make this? And it was cool because like when I went to go pick it up, like there's a couple of people that worked there. They're like, hey, is that yours? Were you the one who came up with that? I'm like, that was me. And I'm like, man, that's so cool. Like they were saying, like the ones who made it, like they thought it was like really cool and interesting
Different.
with what was on it. And yes,
Right. It's different. I love it. I'm thinking of robbing the idea off you. I like it.
Well, because like I wanted like just the idea, just like okay, I have it set up like that today, and then my next show I like have a different angle,
Turn around.
and
Yeah,
hmm
have a turn around.
so
I love it. So I want to ask, when I start getting into crap, I want to know why or how you got into UFOlogy. I know, I just throw you in there. I do. I'm sorry, but that's what I like to
I
do.
I wouldn't expect anything else from an Irish woman, so I totally know how y'all.
We just get into it, make it difficult. We like it, and we like to sit there.
That's
So I
right.
like to sit back here now and listen to you. How did you get into UFOlogy?
Well, it's just like everything else that I'm into, ghosts and monsters and other mysteries. It's just like that. What is it? What's that story behind all this stuff? I gotta find out. I gotta know. I love hearing stories about different people witnessing this in the sky, that in the sky, seeing little beings come down and up to them, talk to them, and it's just like, what's really happening? I gotta find out.
Is there a skeptic way in your mind that you think I'm interested in it, but because nobody knows? I'd be skeptic, but I do believe. I think we are in a lot of different things. We're skeptic, we do believe. Even in the paranormal, I'm still skeptic, but yet like Tracy, I've seen, I've heard, I've felt. I've had things happening and things that I've seen that I can't make near head no sense of it. But would you be a little bit skeptic of it? Or are you like hand down on the ground, it is real?
For aliens, yes. For the simple fact that besides the reports, if say there's 100 reports, there's at least got to be like 10% of those reports that's something that they saw something they can't truly explain. But at the same time, you got to look at it from a scientific standpoint. There's science behind other life forms, not so much like actual alien, but like maybe bacterial life that's on meteorites, that's on the space station, that's on Mars, stuff like that. With ghosts, you gotta like, I think have that like you don't believe it, but you do, 100%. But at the same time, that can't be real. But at the same time, it is real.
I know, and what do you think, Tracy? I love throwing these questions to Tracy because you think somebody else will sit there and say nothing. We're throwing it to you.
Yeah, because I just sit and listen, taking it all in.
Million odds.
Yeah, no. Like I've said to you before, with me, with UFOs, I've got to see it to believe, because for me, there's like, it just seems to be that these UFOs appear, and out of like 100 people in a little town, only one person will see it. But these lights are supposed to be beaming everywhere, and other lives, other life forms, UFOs, flying saucers, ET.
Oh, now please tell me you believe in ET, because if you don't, I'm taking it off. Tell me you believe in ET.
Well, when my bike takes off, my broomstick flies off on its own.
You'll have Ray in the basket.
Oh God, it wouldn't lift off the ground then. No ET in the
Wait
world.
until you get my 60 feet up in the air. Do you take my tissue off me? My dog just took my tissue. Wait until you're like 60 feet in the air, and then you can just bunk him over.
I'll do that next week.
What's this? Chris saying Tracy phone home.
I'll make sure I do that, Chris.
Rosemary, good evening. Rosemary staying up because I mailed her saying, stay up. Very quickly here, Gillian. In 1994, 3 oblong lights were seen over the Slieve Bloom Mountains here in Offaly. The next day, reports came in about 3 scorch marks on Wolf Trap Mountain, which can be seen today when the weather dies back. I remember you telling me about that. And that we were supposed to go and see at one point. But was it not a few months ago, the same thing happened a few months ago? I think the same thing happened. Something was sighted on the same area a few months ago.
See, I'm the same with crop circles as well. I just think there's somebody that goes out of a night time, and
Do you? like I had a guest on the show before, and you know, a movie was made regarding, you know, fire in the sky. So I had Mike on the show before, and we were talking away, and I'm not. The other guy, Travis, as well, was on a different show on TV, and I seen it on YouTube. But I'll say nothing on the live. Adam was looking at him, you know. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about on YouTube, and Travis was asked a question, did it really happen? And it took him about 10 seconds to answer.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa was getting involved.
Alexa, what are you doing?
I unplugged her. She said, Alexa was getting involved. Does she know something we don't? I should have left her plugged in.
That's scary. Stuff like that. That's scary. I know. AI and
my children are not here tonight. And if you see behind me, see that? That's my duvet from upstairs, because I sleep downstairs when my kids are away. Like, Tracy knows this. That's my duvet from upstairs because I sleep downstairs. So Alexa's unplugged. Most of crop circles in the UK were proven to be hoax.
My point exactly, Gillian.
Most
of them. You have to look in. I should put some pictures up, and I didn't. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, I was like, but that's what I was saying about like UFO reports. Like, some of them might be weather phenomenon or a meteorite or a satellite or some person with a drone, but there's that small percentage of something that truly can be explained. It's like, what the heck is that?
Yes. I know. I'm just looking at Chris here. I have seen a ball of light about 10 foot off the ground hover and then shot off, but I can't explain it. Where was this, Chris?
That was when I stuck my foot up his jacksie.
You know, Chris.
No, not really.
You can explain that. I remember being on the show in the daytime, and I was on Alien Talk or Alien and Coffee or something like that, and I was like, gosh, I've never been on a show about UFO before being interviewed. I was like, what do I know? Excuse me. But it opened up Pandora's box that I was like, oh my God, I forgot when I was younger and I was sleeping on the top bunk and I wouldn't look out the window at nighttime because I was afraid that they would see me. But I was too young. I was that, listen, coming from a family of 11, I was that child that nobody wanted to take out. No one wanted to take out. And I look out the window and I knew that they were looking. And I've said this many times, that if I look out, they would see me. And then I would have figured out that I would see them and they would see me, that they know that I'm looking at them and they know that I know that they're looking at me. So Tracy knows this. And so then I'm like, I am kaput. If they know that.
You know spirit's the same, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
So you're in the bath next.
No, because no. We're not doing that. Listen here, lady. Look at me. I'm like poking at everything. So I'd open up Pandora's box. I do believe now the movie that just kind of like kaput me was War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Now that was like, no. That frightened the bejesus out of me. What do you think, Adam?
I saw that one time, and that was the first and last time I saw it.
Why? Would you not watch it again?
I wouldn't mind watching it again. I just have no intentions of like jumping on the TV and putting it on.
Did it not frighten you? Hi, Debbie. Did it not frighten you a wee bit? It did me.
Nice, Texas. The thing that I had to lower down the TV every now and then because of the little girl that was screaming. Like.
Well, like, did you have any UFO experience?
Unfortunately, no, not me. But to me, hearing so many different reports, it still fascinates me that people still report almost the exact same thing when they see something or when they get abducted by something.
Why do you think, and I've said this many, many times, and that the pilots from the army pilots, if I'm saying that word right, or pilots in general, they wanted, and I should have put some of the radio, because I was in bed some of my day because of, I'm going to blame hay fever, but, and I should have got this up, but the reports of the radio call in saying, do you want to report it? And they'd say, no, nothing to report here. Why do you think they were shut up? Why were they shut up? And that just annoys me a little bit, that the pilots, not where they were shut up, but they would have been shunned if they reported something. Why do you think that was?
I mean, to me, it just goes back to like the higher ups, like their superior told them, something. I'm sure they had to report it to somebody higher up. And I'm sure every single one of them got the same answer. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Yeah. But they're coming out with it now. They're coming out to say, yes, it did happen. Maybe because the career is finished in that particular part of their lives, and now they can come forward and talk about it. I watched something on a documentary on TV where they had these metals that they couldn't explain what this metal was. You couldn't get anything through them. Which I thought it was phenomenal. It was amazing.
Well, to me, I just think like with so many people on this planet, with almost 8 billion people, it's hard to try to stop them from looking into this stuff or trying to make some of them look like they're crazy when they talk about aliens and flying stuff in the sky. I mean, there's no way to stop us all from looking into this kind of stuff.
Exactly. There's a question here from Chris. Adam, do you have any evidence of alien existence?
Sadly, no. But like I said, I like to go back to what scientists and people find, when they talk about bacterial life in meteors, or how they find like plankton in the bottom of the sea, or how there's animals at the bottom of the sea living by like those vents that are like shooting out really, really hot water. It's like, how can they live down there near places like that? I mean, just because it's going to hurt us and be a danger to us, that doesn't mean there's other forms of life that can tolerate stuff like that. Maybe there's life that drinks acid. Maybe there's stuff that drinks lava, and it's healthy to them, but of course deadly to us.
There's so much that we don't know. Even with the sea life, there's only 5% that we would know of sea life. Like, we don't know anything about it. I know I watched a crappy video and I said, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Of course, the cameraman was shite and not giving us everything that we need to see. Just a quick glance. I was like, oh, what is this? And I read in the comments, Jennifer, don't comment. And I didn't. But there could be things washed up, from the dark ocean. Is that the deep blue sea is called? Yeah, I should know this. But things like that, we don't know half the stuff. Even in Mars, there's there's water on Mars?
Frozen water, yeah, supposedly.
And is it Elon that's trying to make Mars livable?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that will happen or could happen? I mean, is there another planet that we all want to ruin? Sorry, we're going to get very deep here. Is there another planet that, that do you think Mars is livable? If anybody got any better questions than me, please throw them in there, because I'm just talking like we're talking privately here.
I mean, it's one way, it's another, whether it's Mars, whether it's Pluto. I'm sure eventually down the line, us humans are going to develop better technology to advance further into space. Maybe he'll even go to like another galaxy one day.
Do you think they landed on the moon? My camera's going blurry, but we'll come back. Do you think they landed on the moon? Was it a hoax? Because there's so much going on. If anybody knows this. Do you think they landed on the moon? I know it's completely gone off subject. We're talking about Mars. Do you think they did?
Yes and no. I mean, I like to think that they didn't, but at the same time they did, just because they can still have the technology to go up there. But at the same time, I still think they're going up there without us knowing. I mean, us regular people, civilians, we don't have the technology or the radar systems to track spaceships leaving Earth. I'm like, oh, look, there goes NASA. Look, there goes the Air Force leaving Earth again.
And see, with the picture that kind of made me think a little bit was the flag was flying, and they said there's no gravity there, so why is the flag flying? Now y'all thinking? Is Tracy? Are you thinking? No, she's fucking. Oh Lordy, hold on. Let's say hi, Donna. Hi, Kimmy. And like David said, some people fear what they don't know, which is so true. So true. So true. Chris, we are all aliens. Living conditions on Earth. Living conditions on Earth are changing, and we have to adapt. We have humans living in space. Do we? Oh, well, we do in the
International Space Station.
Space stations. Yeah, we do. Yeah, and you see them on. Sorry, Zach. I love. And you see them on TV, not TV, but movies and all of that. God, could you imagine looking out that window and seeing Earth? When you see it on movies, I have to fix my camera. When you see it on movies, the way people are sitting in the space stations, but looking out and seeing Earth. Tracy, what do you think? I'm coming to you, girl. I'm coming to you.
Just crack on with your UFAs.
What do you think, Adam?
I mean, it looks like she's over there just soaking in whatever we're throwing out to everybody. So
Venti Nats and the
Tracy is in space right now.
I'm just sitting there, like, just visioning you with your, watching Armageddon, thinking, "Holy crap, here we go."
Don't even go there with me. Holy Lord, I'm bad with it. Are you okay, puppy?
Jen is just like, the end of the world's coming next, isn't it, Jen?
I had. Oh, fuck! Did I?
Go back to War of the Worlds. I went and see the live stage show. That is amazing.
You went to see that?
Yes.
Oh, you did. You did. Yeah. I remember.
Amazing.
Having dreams. That's another thing I want to talk about. No, not tonight, but dream. Oh, someone mentioned doing a show on dreams and whatnot. Whether they come true or not, and I was thinking, gosh, how would you work that? But now it's just dawned on me. When I was younger, I'd have dreams. Even to this day, I'd have the same dream every year. Used to ruin my day, but that's a different show. Gillian, one of the astronauts said a few times that they didn't land on the moon. I kind of heard that a little bit as well. I heard that a little bit of that. Also, who took the photo of the guy's first step out onto the moon?
It was a movie. It's one of the fake rooms that they set up. Come on, Chris.
Was it not that little car thing that they sent out to take pictures?
What, the space buggy?
Yes. God, my words are arseways tonight. The space buggy, yeah.
I'm sure they've just set up a room that makes it look like they're doing stuff.
Have like a black curtain in the background or something, and
they did, and put a fan on the flag.
Okay.
Jesus, we might get shut down now. Just thank God this is not Facebook, because we will get shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we have aliens in Area 51 in the States. That's one of my questions for tonight. Area 51. What is the crack with Area 51? And the Irish. What's the crack with it? Imagine me going to America and saying, "What's the crack with Area 51? What's the crack with it? What are you all doing?"
Classified.
What is the crack with Area 51? Why so secretive? And then if you go near the gate, you have these guys up in the mountains, and they will be down in your arse in 2 seconds.
Obviously not, because there was a video a few weeks ago, and a woman ran butt naked through the gates of Area 51, apparently, and nobody appeared. Nobody got her.
No one what? No one got her.
Yeah, no one stopped her. No one.
They're probably too
Maybe-
busy sitting there watching her.
Exactly, I was just about to say that with the binoculars watching and zoom in on.
We're not shooting this one down.
Let's see what the aliens do here.
Exactly. I'd love to get to Area 51. I would do anything to find out what is going on. Is it a scaremonger? Is it?
I think there's got to be some sort of like mystery behind everything. You know, you get your secret shoppers, you get your secret locations, you get your secret. So I think even with aliens and flying saucers, you get your secret.
It's secret. It is.
Well-
And it's just, sorry, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, like because I've heard that it's just like a smoke screen. Like they have everybody focused on Area 51, but at the same time, all the real stuff is going on other bases underneath the ground, and they just want everybody's attention focused on
Amen.
Area 51.
Create something new. Like you said, smoke screen to something else. We're onto you, America. We're onto you. We all are. We know it. Facebook might not allow this live on the page, but that's okay. That's okay. But we're onto you. We could get so controversy on this. So controversy. I was going to say something there, but I shan't. I'll say it in private. No, I shouldn't. No, I won't. No, I won't. No.
After.
It's filtered through, it's left the mouth area, and now we're going to move on to the next one. So I want to know as well, because we want to mix this in tonight. We're going to mix it in. Paranormal experiences. And I know when I say paranormal, it's not just ghosts and spirits and so on. It's across the board. Zach, Mom is going to give you water now. It's across the board of everything. What is your experience of? Can I just let my dog out for a second?
Yeah,
sure. I'm going to ask this question before I let my dog out. Your experience of paranormal, and I am listening to you, but I have to let my dog out. My children are here to say, "Scream, ask her Elsa." My daughter just texted me; she's over there in her dad's house. I can see from here. I'd nearly shout over to her and say, "Go and get the dog some water." But I'm a one-woman show tonight. So, what is your experience of paranormal that made you start getting involved in the spirit side? That makes sense. But I'm going to mute myself, close my camera, because you don't want to see this big eyes. I'm going to let my dog out, but I am listening.
Okay, I'll start right now. She's so funny. Well, for me, it all started when I was about 11, 12, around there. And I was laying on my bed, and I was towards the one end of the bed. I had my arms like that, looking up at the TV, and I had my legs bent. And I was laying on my stomach, watching the TV. And I had my legs bent. And you know how when somebody sits on the bed, you feel it like go up and down? Well, that's what it felt on the other end. And so I felt that, and I turned around to look behind me. I'm like, okay, so me being just a kid in the 90s, go back to just watching TV. And ever since then, I guess I like later on in life, I started hearing about like ghosts and ghost stories and different things, people being touched, people being messed with, things, objects moving by themselves. I'm like, I wonder if that could have been a ghost that sat on my bed. And I was the only one in the room. The doors closed, no pets, no earthquakes. I thought of like a gazillion things that it could have been, but nothing that I can think of. So that's like the first thing that got me going. And from that, I just like got into more mysteries, like the alien thing and monster thing and, all the other mysteries in between that it's like, I want to know what the heck is going on. I want to know what that is. Have
you ever seen something where you're touched? Like, when when someone touches you, or have you seen something?
Unfortunately, that's no. I've never been touched or pushed or seen anything or unfortunately, no. Sadly, no. Nothing that I can say that would qualify as something strange or unexplained. I mean, just like maybe like a noise here, a noise there, but it could have been
Right.
the wind. It could have been a squirrel. So
Yes. That is not the best thing about when you do investigations, to debunk a lot of stuff in the paranormal, because oh my god, like I watched a show last week, and I can't say it. Oh my god, there's a lot of things I can't say tonight. But they were outdoors. I'm going to say they were outdoors, and it was evening time, and they heard a stick cracking, and it was like, "Shh, did you hear that?" And I'm like, the phone was like, "It's in the fucking woods. There's nothing." It's like, stop. Jesus Lord, we're up until like 4 or 5 in the morning doing audio, and then someone cracks a wood in the forest, and it's like, did you hear that? No, no.
exactly,
Jenny lose their mind a
exactly.
little bit when it comes to this stuff. That not everything is paranormal, because if it was, sure, like, why would we do that? Why would we spend fortunes and travel and research as much as we do if it was just like that? Like it's something is broken, or anyway, that's my rant over. Thank you for listening.
But yeah, I mean that's so true though. I mean, like I said, I've been on investigations where we heard a bang or something. Well, there's a crack in the window back there. It might have just been the wind that blew in and knocked something over. We don't know for sure. So that is debunked or taken away. We don't consider that paranormal. So
Aye, until there's something there that you just can't say. I'm dumbfounded. No, I don't know it. It was like the time when I started off in paranormal. I was going to say a few years ago, but many years ago. But I'm not going to tell you how many, because that will just give the age away. But I'm looking good for it. Actually, no, it's dragging the out of me. I'm tired doing it. But there was a time when I was up in the north, and we were late getting to a location, myself and a friend. And we were sitting in the car, and when we looked at, because I have done this location every month for 6 years consecutively, every month for 6 years. And there was this solid, we were sitting out in the car, there was a few cars parked around, they were all underneath the tunnels of this location, underground in these tunnels. And I seen something solid black figure walking from right to left. And I know this place like the back of my hand. And I knew it wasn't the gang. I knew they were down under the ground. And I said nothing to the girl who was in the car with me. I said nothing so I could try and dissect what I seen. And she said to me about 30 seconds later, she said to me, "Oh my God, did you just see that?" And I looked at her and I said, "What did you see? What did you see?" And she said, "I seen a waist and legs walking by." And I thought, oh, she saw the same thing too. It was great. But I told her to lock the door, put the key in the ignition. She goes, "Why?" And I said, "This is not a movie. Don't ask questions. Just do it. Put the key in. Don't ask questions. And then we'll be caught. Just do it." So ask questions later when we're skipping stones behind us the way down the driveway. So it was outside. I know the place. So it was solid black. You could see the definition of the side of the profile, the nose, the chin, the neck, the shoulders down to the waist, just walking by. Could have been residual. I say it was residual. I say it was. But then she saw the bottom half, and and that was that. So I dissected it in my mind for many, many years. It was real. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. So you have my left brain and my right brain fighting with each other to rationalize it. Was it real? Yes. Is my brain still fighting? Yes. That's what goes inside my head every day. every day. Was it real? Yes. This one here is from a Facebook user. I'm going to have to check this one out. If NASA are talking of going to Mars, would it not be a good idea to set up a station on the moon to see if they could grow plants and find out if people could live there? That would be a really good idea. That's Facebook user, so I don't know who it is. But
But
Hasn't
who's
that
to
been
say
done?
that?
who? Sorry, Tracy.
I thought they'd done something like that already.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard something like that before.
I think I saw that in a movie.
They
Oh, well.
they probably done it in the space station, but I was gonna say, like, who's to say that they haven't already done it already? They just haven't come out and said, "Hey, we're starting to do a program, or we're starting to do this." You know,
Hmm.
I think that's John. Is that John? Is
my
that John?
favorite band.
That's Puka Paranormal. Who is it? Can you see? Let me see. No, I cannot see it on my side. I cannot see. I'm going to have a wee look here. Hold on. One tickety boo. It is John. I knew it was John. I see. I know. That's why I see on my Emerald Isle now. It is John. So, John, yeah, they are growing plants and vegetables on the International Space Station.
Hmm.
On the space. So they are.
See, I knew I thought I had heard something like that.
I watched it on a movie, but it didn't end well at all. It did not end well. Oh, it's Eugene from Afterlife Paranormal. It's your Eugene. One of them is John. We see John. And the other one is Eugene. Yeah, so I have the two here from John here. So, yeah, I did see that movie. It didn't end too well. But it would be great if... But like I said earlier, they should know not to be making shit of this planet, this planet that we're on. But they are. Listen to what's his name? Tracy.
David Attenborough.
That's the one. My mind is not with it. Listen to David Attenborough. He's not joking. And he's an elderly man, but he ain't joking. He's trying to save it for everyone, but everyone's not listening.
I think he's amazing.
Oh, he's amazing. He is. How old is he now?
Oh, he's got to be, what, early 80s? Got to be.
Oh, I say he's a lot more. But, Adam.
I'll have a look.
Locations that you've investigated. What is your favorite? Which location that have you investigated that kind of wowed you? Any part of your investigations that kind of made you worried, made you scared?
Well, one that was memorable was we were up in Mineral Wells, Texas. That's about 4 hours north of here.
Wow.
And it was me and George sitting there. We're about 2 feet apart, sitting there asking questions, trying to get AVPs.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what he asked. He was, like I said, he was asking a set of questions. Ask a question, give us some time. Ask a question, give some, so on and so on and so on.
Yep.
He asked a question, and after about 5 minutes of asking questions, it was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. Play back the digital recorder,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear it say my name.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. And then that was the first week I was there. The following weekend, I was there back again. And we were there messing with the spirit box and talking to the spirit box. They were shooting out stuff.
Yeah.
And my name was said again.
Mm-hmm.
Second week in a row, same place.
Oh.
And then the next weekend, the third weekend in a row, we were at a place called Yorktown.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour and a half east of here. And it used to be a hospital. It used to be a mental health uh, place, but it was abandoned because they built a better hospital down the road. So that was abandoned. And so we were in there, had the rooms, and they had chapel in the back. We were in a chapel. I was sitting there on the bench for the where they play the piano, the organ, and to my right there's a casket, and right there in front of me, the rest of the team is sitting on the pews, the benches. That spirit box going, shooting out stuff. About 10 minutes later, Adam. So I'm like, wow, and like people were like pointing out like, hey, if they said your name like that, 2 different places, and like 3 weeks in a row, like you're starting to
do you think
get known.
and do you think there was someone following you? If there's 2 different locations and they're calling your name out, or do you think like the longer you're in paranormal, doing investigation, research, and so on, that you do get, I'm going to say, in many different locations, your name can be said?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like to think that the more you are into it, yes, I don't want to say you develop a gift, but I just feel like you get more open to it. Because I like officially, like actually, I've been investigating for like the last year, maybe 2 years,
Right.
And that's not often. It's when I can go, but I feel like I'm getting more out there. So, like I say, it's just those 3 weekends in a row. I just happened to book it right at the same time. It was a good time for me to go out of town and go to these places.
How do you feel when you hear your name being said?
That first weekend, I'm like, holy crap, that's kind of creepy. I'm not kind of creepy, but kind of scary. But then it's like the second time, I'm like,
it's cool.
Did it just like it said my name right? And then like that third weekend, it's like, okay, I'm more comfortable with it.
I know people in the after. If you piss me off, I know people I can call upon that will tip you in the middle of the night. Don't mess with me. I know people, and I've said it to many people. I have said it to many people, and they think I'm joking, but I'm not. I'm not joking. I will call upon my people in the afterlife. They all know me. It's like the Don on.
Well, with you being an Irish woman, just that alone, like, scares me.
Enough,
like you're like 6,000 miles away, but I'm still scared of you being across the Atlantic.
Don't forget it. Don't forget it. That's so funny. Oh my God, my eyes are teary all night. Holy gosh. This is from our John. It was Puka Paranormal's 3rd birthday on Wednesday. So happy birthday, Puka Paranormal, John Rue and founder Rosemary. They had a party that night, and I gate crashed on video call. It was the best night ever. I was crawling the next day. This is all done, they were all together down in John's house and Yuriga's house, John's wife, and I was here at home. Jennifer was calling the next day. Anyhow, that's a different story for a different time. This is from John for Puka Paranormal. Adam, have you ever visited the Skinwalker Ranch? Do you think it's mostly hype, or is there more to it?
I like to think the hype is real, but I think it is like just like any other haunted location where you can go there. Like maybe one person will go there and all sorts of things happen to them and they got to get out. And maybe the same person can go there the next day and all you get is maybe just a tap on the shoulder.
Do you think it's mentally that because of the stories that has happened, if you go into a location that you don't know what the history is, you walk in blindfolded, like basically you walk in naked, that you don't know anything about it. The worst thing is like when there's Maddie. Hi, Maddie. Hey, girl.
Yes.
When you walk into a location, oh, look at the happy birthday. Oh, Eugene, thank you so much.
I like to think that as well. Like maybe it's just your mind and your imagination like messing with you. Like you heard stories of like something reaching out and grabbing you from inside a dark room, and you might start thinking that, and
Yeah.
that's why like investigations, like I try to go not I try not to let my mind like mess with me and get a hold of me. If I gotta go into like a dark room, I try to like stay positive and not let my mind like get a hold of me.
Over. And the same here. Sorry, I keep wiping my eyes. I just have teary eyes with my windows
Be
open.
very careful what you're going to say here, Mrs. Go on.
What?
You're the same. You're what? Go on.
I am so brave. I am warrior. I am Irish. No, what was I going to say, Tracy? What's the question again?
You're power of the mind. I'll remind you next week when you go to the toilet on your own, shall I?
Oh, well, I don't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Yes, when I go to the bathroom, I always have someone with me. I really, really do. Always. Because I know. What are you going to say, Adam?
I was gonna say, is this who you mentioned before that you have to take with you when you go?
No, Tracy. This next week we don't have a show. Next week there's no show because myself and Tracy's going to be in my living room. We might do a little one. We don't know. We might do a little live. But I'm taking Tracy. Tracy's from UK, so she's coming over to Ireland next week with her husband Ray, and we're doing a weekend of investigation. So I'll take over to the fabulous. Oh, excuse me, I'm spitting the fabulous museum, Millmount.
Because you're English, right, Tracy?
I am, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm sorry.
I said, does my voice not give it away?
East London. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because like just because like I said, I've known that friend of mine from Belfast for like 10, 12 years now, and I recognize more of a Irish accent, more northern than I do like others, So it kind of, and then like with her, like there are times where she'll speak. I'm like, what was that word right there that you said? I could understand it, and she'll have to like say it slowly or type it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because like we
Belfast accent. I love the Belfast.
Yeah.
I love the Northern accent. I love the Northern accent. With Aiden, half the time I'm like, what? He goes, are you bleeping deaf, mucker? You don't understand what I'm saying. What the fuck was wrong with you now, Jenny? And so he talks too fast. Sorry, Aiden, if you're watching. But yeah.
They do.
Look who this is John. Ireland has 32 counties. Yes, we do. But 32,000 accents. Yes, we do. John, I'm trying to get Puka team on one of the shows. It's not right, John. But he's going to kill me. He's not going to go on. But we're working on it. I'm working on it. So you can hear John's accent. So we have a question here from David Hope. What are your thoughts on Roswell? What's NM? NM?
New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Gosh, that's me being silly. So what are your thoughts on Roswell?
I think it's a great tourist attraction. But I mean, only because I've been there before, but at the same time, I would like to go again because it's been like 20, 21 years since I've been. But I would like to go again just because I think, it's been a long time since I've been, but I like to go again just because how the subject of aliens and stuff is more popular.
Do you think they have someone down there?
No, just because, like I said, how this kind of stuff is more popular. I like to think like Area 51, Roswell, it's more. We can go and visit and talk about that stuff. Like maybe they've like taken stuff that they've had underground, maybe, and dispersed it to other bases.
With the little green men with their rucksacks and the little shovels.
Yeah, exactly.
And Will Smith. Will Smith has been there twice, Men in Black and Independence Day. So he would know more. And I was going to say earlier, but oh no, it came into my head again, but I won't say it. But I'll say it later. This is from John. Adam, have you heard the Bob Laser story? Thoughts on it? You
Many
have?
times.
What are your thoughts on it?
I believe him 100%.
But you know what? For the ones who don't know what it is, one of them. What is it, and what are your thoughts on it? I should know, but I don't. What is the Bob
But
Laser?
Lazar, he's a guy that came out in public in the late 80s talking about that he used to work at Area 51, talking about how people do have recovered alien spaceships down underground, and they're trying to like reverse engineer their spaceships and trying to get technology from them.
Where was that on TV before? Is that the one I mentioned earlier about they found the piece of steel that nothing could penetrate it, and it was nothing like they've seen before? It was on a documentary on TV, I think Discovery or something like that. I don't know if it's him or not, but I will have to look it up for sure. What are your thoughts on it?
Like I said, I believe in 100%. I mean, just because like the stories that he tells about having to drive his car to like the airport, and him being taken with other people in a plane with blacked out windows, and then they have to be land in the desert, and from there they take a bus into like the mountains where like
What?
supposedly they're working on the alien crafts, and I think it's called a S4 to be more precise. And like I said, it's just like all underground to where it's like he's talking about how these people work on this part of the project and they have no contact with these people who work on this thing, and then these people differently, and they're not allowed to like roam around or ask questions, or hey, don't look in there, continue your work. Or
so it's a little bit. I don't know if it's. I really don't know what to make of it. There's too much secrecy, and there's no wonder nothing is trusted anymore. And then they say, "Oh, trust us." I was like, "Go F yourselves." It's no wonder nothing is trusted anymore when they do this secrecy, and employees cannot speak because they have a different section of underground. I hope people are getting wise to it. And, there's not a lot anyone can do about it, but, it's my thoughts out loud.
right. There's also that story of what was his name? Something Snyder. He talks about how it was him and a team. I think they were doing work for I don't know if it was the government or for like the city. They were doing work for like somebody, and they were drilling under the ground, and like they were drilling through rock and through stone and all that stuff, and they came upon like a group of aliens that was underneath the ground, and I think it was called the Duce base in Colorado, was it? I think this was the early 90s, so something like that. And he was talking about how there's aliens and stuff down there, but a short time later, I don't know exactly how long later, they found him dead. Apparently, he committed suicide, and everybody thinks that the government took care of him.
It sounds like a big movie. And I'm just going to be careful with what I say, because I know this is going to go on Facebook, and Facebook knows who I am and where I am, and I'm like a red dot to them in the sky, and they're going to find out where I am. And listen, if I go disappear, it's because the helicopters came down and just dragged me, because my window's open, and they're going to pull me out of it.
That's all we're going to see.
But I'm more worried that I'm wearing shorts and you're going to see my unsunned white legs. And that's what I'm more worried about. Sorry, Facebook. I'm joking, I'm not. They have a nice museum now. What else? Another question from John. Adam, do you think there's anything behind the Antarctic ice wall?
I mean, other people believe that there is an ice wall, but at the same time, I don't know if I believe in such a thing. Are you referring to like the ice wall that supposedly is surrounding the land because the Earth is flat? That's the only reference I've ever heard of, like the ice wall, because people have their opinions that they think like the Earth is flat and that there's one giant ice wall surrounding like the plane of the Earth. I don't know what that is really in reference to.
Ice wall is Eugene. Sorry, I thought that was John. I thought it was John. The ice wall is Eugene. I'm sorry, Eugene. Oh yeah, so Eugene is saying yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I've heard like people are like warned away from like the ice wall from like the military. Like there's boats and stuff out there. Like if you get too close, like, hey, turn back around now. That's the only thing I've ever heard.
In the Antarctic. In the Antarctic, this is happening. So if anything gets too close to it, and the ice wall, because this is first things that I've heard of tonight, being like the Antarctic ice wall.
I mean, I haven't heard much about it, but that's, like I said, that's something I really heard in reference to, like, supposedly the Earth is flat, like a pizza, how it's round, and then like all around it is one giant ice wall.
Okay. And they're still doing that? They're still thinking like that? Tracy is just making faces there. They're still thinking like that. Flat earthers believe that they're still doing it. Okay. Well, I mean, everyone believes what they do believe. Everyone believes what they believe.
My mind is frazzled as to why these super intelligent life forms want to come to Earth to mix with us and learn anything from us lot. Like, I'm not being funny, but do you get what I mean? They're supposed to be so intelligent, so like, yeah, they want to have brains.
I'm looking at what John was saying. S4 was one of the spacecraft found in archaeology dig. Apparently, he was talking about element 115 in the 80s, but it was only discovered in mid-2000s. That's it. Well, go ahead, Adam.
Well, I was gonna like say, like, going back to what Tracy said about like they believe like aliens come down here to study us, our biology and all that stuff, but at the same time to study Earth, and that's why I believe it's in South America, like Brazil, or I think in Brazil, where they have like the Aztec lines, and they think like aliens maybe came down to like that part of the Earth because there's just so much exposed, like the ground, the dirt, the sand. I mean, aliens could have come down to Earth and like maybe study, like how we send rovers to Mars, dig into the dirt, dig into the rocks, like they've come down and did that.
I can understand that if they would, like, they're coming to the Earth to study the ground, the soils, the plant life. But, to hear these people say, oh, I was abducted by aliens and stuck to the, you're just like, that.
That's another thing I want to talk about that one too. Another question is, oh, that's so true, John. I was waiting for someone to say this, but I knew John would come through. What if aliens have visited and concluded that there are no signs of intelligence?
That's my point. Why?
I wouldn't be surprised.
and they left, and then now they're laughing at us saying, well, we were going to help them, but now I won't. And even the Grays won't come and help us. And then, Jesus, was screwed. There's a few people I'd like them to beam up. There's a few. I have a long list. Hold on, let me go through it. Yeah. I want them to beam up.
Oh my goodness, that was great.
But it is bloody. But I do believe, John, and I was going to say it earlier, but I couldn't get the words out properly without saying a few colourful words. That there is proper, and there's a few people I could say there's no proper intelligence. There is none. And I would put a few names up, but I know Facebook is watching at some point and they're going to blue list me. And I can't afford it because this is what I enjoy to do, so I won't mess with it. That is so funny.
That was good.
That's good. That's true, actually. Maybe aliens are just another form of spirit, which I actually do believe too. We are looking for them and they're looking for us.
Someone else is going back to like what I always say that I teach my team. If you think about it, what have I always said? See? I always say, how do we know that?
You did. We're not the ones that's passed on, and
we've left their world.
You said that to me, Tracy. You said that to me one night in a voicemail, and I was in bed, and I said, "No, we're shutting this conversation down. My brain doesn't have the capacity to take this in." And I did say to you, for the love of all that is holy and saint, let us just get through there what we're investigating, what we're researching first. And then she threw that question at me. She goes, but what happens if we're the ones that passed on? We're the ones that's dead. And they're the ones that are alive. It's like the movie, The Others. It's like she thought she'd passed on. Have you seen the movie, The Others, Adam?
With Nicole Kidman?
Yes.
Not yet.
You should watch it. You should. We're not going to talk about it then because we're going to give it away. You should look that movie up. It is quite good. It is a bit of a shocker.
But this is where, because this is where, like I said to Jen, like without giving too much away, these knocks and bangs that we hear, like this knock, 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 that we believe is spirit knocking on the wall to us. How do we actually know they're not knocking on the wall for us because they're looking for us? They're trying to find us. They can hear us the other side of the wall.
If you see smoke coming from these ears, it's because Tracy's asking this question again. Because it makes me think, and I don't like to think. It makes me tired.
like I've always thought about like how you're at an investigation and like say you're there in the room and a chair tips over. Because I sometimes like to think it's maybe not a ghost going over there and like, you know what? I'm gonna show these guys I'm here and tip over the chair. Maybe it's a ghost that's just walking by and he just happened to tip over the chair and like, I'm not gonna talk to these people. They annoy me. I'm getting out of here. And he just happened to tip over a chair or
but what I'm saying is, what if you are actually the ghost? So the chair being tipped over is because you're sitting in their chair. We're actually the spirit. Do
you see what I'm talking about, Adam? Do you see what I'm talking about?
We believe this is the living physical world, yeah? Where everything. Right. But who's to say that it is? How do we know that we're not the ones that have passed over and we're actually the spirit living in their world?
I see that.
What I'm talking about? You see, she's in my house next weekend for like 4 days. Like, you got her for 2 hours. I have a phone.
Well, maybe at the end of those 4 days, like an hour before she leaves, you never know. There might be a bad storm and she might get stuck there and she'll have to stay with you an extra 24 hours or 42.
What did you cause a spell on me? I'm sorry, I'm joking, Tracy, I'm joking. She's gonna fucking kill me. She's gonna fucking kill me now. I'm joking, Tracy. Tracy, listen, Tracy, I'll have your bath run for you. I promise. Don't kill me. See what you started now, Adam. See what you started. This is from John. I heard an interesting podcast before where one researcher is observing an increase in paranormal activity, such as poltergeist and Bigfoot sightings shortly after UFO sightings. Whoa, I like it. That's from John.
What, like music?
Huh?
What, the music?
I heard an interesting podcast where one researcher was observing an increase in paranormal activity, such as poltergeist and Bigfoot sightings shortly after UFO sightings, which is interesting. I know the show that I was on before, asking, do we have any like Bigfoots here in Ireland? And we don't. Not that I've looked for them. I remember talking questions about it, saying, you know, when somebody was saying they could find hair and whatever, and I said, do you get a DNA checked? Because, you know, you're in the forest and you have animals and you have snares of hair on sticks and whatnot. There's probably one thing that I don't believe in anything paranormal would be, and please don't, my email is www.
Chuck it in the F bucket.
.com. The only thing I don't believe in, and everyone has their beliefs, and we understand that we're good in this place, is Bigfoot. I just don't. I really, really don't. And I know many people do, and good friends of mine do. What do you think, Adam? Please don't send me hate mail. Please don't.
What was your email again? Well, let me show you this to answer your question.
Okay.
If I can angle my arm right, I have.
Oh, I see. I can see. Yeah. Oh my God! You have a tattoo on your arm.
Yes, of Bigfoot.
What do you think it is? Like this. Everyone believes it. It's like UFOs. It's like paranormal spirits.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Bigfoot. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I just believe in the whole. I just don't know. I don't know if it's UFOs, but I do have that 10-15% belief. With paranormal, I have a lot of belief in the paranormal. When it comes to Bigfoot, I don't know because of animals and where they live, and there's different ones. There's Antarctic ones where they're white, they're abominable.
Okay, yes.
That they have them, and they, you know, just I don't know. I don't. That's what I was thinking. Is it a big ape? Is it a big ape? I don't know. Like John said as well. I often wonder if Bigfoot is an elemental spirit rather than a lost ape connection. What do you reckon?
Well, I mean,
what do you think?
Well, I mean, to me, like, there's been those reports of like people seeing a spaceship, an alien spaceship, like beaming down a Bigfoot. To me, I think it's just the aliens not so much experimenting, but like checking out what a Bigfoot is. Just like how they would check or take away a person, they want to figure out what the heck that thing is too. And who knows, maybe they've done it to Bigfoot, maybe they've done it to tigers and other wildlife animals, and including us. And you know, and there's been reports of like people saying, oh, you know, I saw Bigfoot walking in. Next thing I knew, I saw it turn into like a light and it float away. But to me, I you know.
She's laughing at when we come to put up. Hey, puppy. Sorry, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
And to me, I just think like a Bigfoot is just another wildlife creature.
I've sussed it. Bigfoot is the aliens' pets. They're dropping them on Earth. There you go.
And that's what I've heard before.
Really?
That's the aliens' pets, and that's their spies. They're here just little dotted, just to spy. Just to give you something else to play with.
something else to keep us
Well,
amused. Something to keep us amused. What
Yeah.
do you think of abduction? And if they, I know the question was asked earlier about something different, but what do you think of abduction? What are they looking for?
Of aliens to humans.
Yes.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I've heard like they're just trying to study us, see what makes us tick.
We don't even know that.
I know.
But I like to think that their technology is way more advanced than ours, so they have better technology at doing, discovering what is in us, what's wrong with us, what makes us do the things we do. But at the same time, I've heard theories that like some aliens are from the future and they've come back in this time period to check us out, get what they need from us, take back to the future and use it for whatever they need.
Yeah, what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
What not to do. Do you think sometimes, actually, why do you think, and do you think, they're two different questions actually. What is the secrecy of Area 51 not letting out what is happening? What is the big secrecy? Do you think everyone's going to go ape shit and go, oh my God, and lose their minds? Or is it something that's not UFO and something that's government-wise? Apart from the whole government thing, do you think it's UFO related or non-related with Area 51? And they're using UFO as an excuse.
Well, that's the thing. There's
Jesus, Facebook, don't do it. Don't do it. Beep.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've heard of like military personnel saying that they will disguise, not so much disguise, but they will say that they have a new plane out. And they say, "Oh, what you saw it wasn't a new plane; it was a UFO." So they will use that subject of a UFO to disguise this new advanced military plane, so people won't see it. And then
what I'm talking about. You see, so minds do think, because we ain't stupid. We look it, but we're not stupid. And I know it's a conversation not many want to talk about, or because it's too taboo. Not many people want to talk about it, and that's why it's happening, because nobody's talking about it. And we're not going to get into politics or anything like that, but it is what it is.
Right?
It is what it is. It's because they're disguising something else, just as you said. They could be disguising something else, and that was from a military person.
Yes, with different reports, saying stuff like that. Like, they'll say that just to disguise their military crafts, military airplanes. And I was telling this to a friend of mine at work before. Like, this kind of goes off like conspiracy-ish subject, but like how I was telling this to a friend of mine, like they will make somebody look terrible. They will make somebody look like dirty just to instead of like just plain like taking care of them, they will make them look terrible, like liars. Like, how can you believe that person? That person, does this to little kids. How can you believe that person? That person does drugs. There's no way you can, totally make them look, unreliable.
They know too much, so they put crap on them. They know too much, and they've seen a lot. And we can talk about singers and actors and whatnot, and they have just said, I know I watched one video yesterday with Jim Carrey, and he was given signs on an interview, say about 4 years ago, something like that. And he was kind of like, he was having none of it. So, and oh my gosh, there's so much I could say, but it would have to be done in private conversation, not on, because it's not paranormal related. We should do a politician night. We should do a politician night, because it wouldn't be good. The same with Ireland, for Christ's sake. This is from John. Adam, have you thoughts on Billy Mir, I think I'm saying the name right. Do you think his accounts are genuine?
I don't know who that is.
John, who is that? John, why don't you come on live and tell us who it is? he's probably washing his hair. He won't do it. And like as John said earlier, UFO aside, Area 51 work on a lot of new weapons and aircraft, so they probably just keep everything top secret. Chris said Trump's wig and tan factory. Which I wasn't going to put up, but I just thought, feck it. I own the fucking show. I'll put the feck what I want up. I was going to ask about as well, pyramids. What is the story with pyramids? Like we all have an idea from it. Pyramids and Stonehenge and all of that.
Oh boy, that's awesome. That gives you goosebumps just you bringing them up, that subject, and the whole idea of like ancient structures like that are a puzzle to us of what they were.
Well, I'm very into the Mayan as well. I'm so into that. And the calendar, I love all of it.
Because like, I mean, just from like the theories that they think that the pyramids were like some kind of like power source to help generate like a power source, and you know that they would pump water underneath it, and something about like it would create like some kind of like power source that would shoot up into the sky and connect with like other structures, you know, that go along with like the ley lines that are going across the earth and things of that sort. And just
there are three pyramids aligned with the stars in the sky. The three pyramids literally aligned with, and I forget the name and I should remember, but I actually don't. But they do align with the stars in the sky. How did it happen? Like, why?
I'll be right back. I'm on cat duty, so I'll be right back.
Go for it. Tracy, what do you think? The pyramids and how they come aligned with the. I'm actually going to look that word up or that name.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, to me they are fascinating. Pyramids have just fascinated me forever. But it's like you say with Stonehenge, like because you think going back to then, didn't it? Everything was done by night and day, the moon and the sun. So you know, I don't know, they just fascinate me. But it's like even when you're inside them, they're like a puzzle inside, aren't they? You know, you just go in the doorway and it's or move a rock face, or you know, or was they built on, you know, the structure of, let's go back to, I don't know, the Bible, whatever, you know, when, you know, before, you know, the moving of the stone and the going in, and that's where he was, like, you know, he was put in before he came back to life. It's just like mind blowing. You know, was they based on things like that? I mean, you know yourself, I'm not a big fan of the Bible, but it sort of is.
Yeah. I know, it's weird. I was looking up here now. What do you think, Adam? Kind of looking up here, Egyptian pyramids alignment. But so why does the pyramids get your attention?
Well, just to go back a second,
absolutely.
Not to disrespect anybody or shoot on anybody's beliefs, but I'm with Tracy on. I'm not a big fan of the Bible. I don't believe in. I mean, that's just my opinion. So, like I said, not to disrespect nobody or anything like that, but I don't know, like the pyramids and like Stonehenge, and from what it can be used as to how they did all those stones. Well, I mean, the pyramids. There was a couple of years ago, there was a guy that came out and said like he thinks this is how they did it, and it wasn't like a machine, it wasn't aliens, it was just like them using straight up manpower to build them. And he came out, this guy from France who was an architect, he sold his company and he devoted his time to trying to figure out how they built the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent so much time like looking at the pyramids, going on the computer, doing graphics, all that stuff. And they brought him to the pyramid, and they're like, okay, how do you think it was built? And he took the host of that program saying, you see this right here? This is how they did it. You see that right there? This is what they used to do that. You see this over here? This, they bought this for that, for this, for this. And everything like they asked him, he had an answer for. And even a couple of things that they didn't ask, that they didn't think to ask him, he came out and said, I believe they used this for that.
Mm.
And like I said, it was just straight up manpower, ropes and pulleys and
What?
the stuff he thinks that they use.
And it was specific type of stone that they had to use for the pyramids as well. Because I remember a documentary I was watching the other day, and it like they have to chisel away of it by hand, and then they were saying like to get so for this stone to match up with this stone, they literally would chisel away at it. It would take like 2 or 3 men like 20 hours a day and if it's cracked in the slightest way, it was gone. Then it was a new one started.
Mm-hmm.
Each thing has to align up, and they couldn't even have it so that it cracked, and they had to have certain like shapes to the stones for this one to tally up with that one. It's amazing, and to think it is all done just by pure man strength
And power.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Unreal.
So because I know the whole thing was about the UFOs was building these pyramids. How did they, like John was saying there, I'm going to get the word wrong.
Orion.
The belt of Orion.
Yes.
How and
Mm.
how is that possible? Like really, how is it possible? If it's man-made, how is it possible?
Anything's possible, I suppose.
But that's just like, that's a little bit too, like the stars.
Coincidence.
Really?
It's. I mean, you look at the stargazers now, right? They work with the stars. They align it up. They are and you go back then to when pyramids were built. There wasn't electric. There wasn't things like that. So the only things they had to work on was the sunlight, the moonlight, and the stars. The stars was their max, basically.
So now that's just ruined the whole frickin' thing that I think the pyramids were made by frickin' aliens. Now it's ruined it for me. Now it's ruined it.
I feel better. Since you said that right now, I feel better knowing that there is an ocean between us. So,
so
if you
and all.
if you were just down the road, I would have been like, I'm sorry, I was possessed. I didn't mean to say that.
Listen, an ocean, a plane, a boat. We'll meet up. This lady is coming. This lady is coming to me next week.
Good luck, Tracy. Good luck.
We shall be in left.
It'll be fun. The English, the Irish, and the Scottish together. What can go wrong?
It will. Just imagine like 3 of us together.
Just pray for me.
The English from the Irish from Drogheda, the Irish from Belfast, the English and this. We're going to come up with a few. The Englishman, the Paddyman, Englishman, the Irishman, and the Scottishman jokes. We're going to have a few. Ray will probably tell a few, which is her husband. We'll not. We'll just go and not understand a freaking word he's saying to us. We won't understand because I keep saying, Tracy, what's he saying? What's he saying? John is saying, no, it's John. The Egyptians also knew the layout of the solar system, how many planets there are, and they are orbit and they orbit the sun.
See?
Which they would know, like the Mayans and so on. They would know.
Ooh. See?
Like 2 things. Like,
can you give me 1 minute? Can you give me 1 minute? I'll be
Okay.
back in 1 minute. Be back in 1 minute.
Okay.
Keep talking among yourself, but I will be back. I will be back.
She's gonna go and cry in a bucket.
she's probably trying to figure out how to get us.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I'm glad there's an ocean between us. So like 6,000 miles away and like 6 hour time zone.
Oh wow. Yeah, no. But it is they're just mind blowing.
Mhm.
And even when they've opened up pyramids and gone into them, like just anything that's inside, steps going down and twists and turns, and it's just like unreal. But it's like, why build the pyramids? I suppose that's one thing we'll never know, why they actually built them.
Exactly.
Not like, like your little mud hut that's, but there must have been a reason why they done them to that shape. Not your normal squares, not that, just
Instead of like a square or something, is that
yeah.
it's. I mean, part of me likes to think like how today in this time period, like people know what a tablet is, they know what a laptop is, they a TV, a DVD player. Like this is our sort of thing, houses and offices. Back then, their knowing was, building stuff.
Yeah.
You give somebody from back then, a TV, they're like, "What the heck is this?" It's like that's what they know. They know like stargazing and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I've seen a video on YouTube where like this guy was pointing out like there's hieroglyphics of like supposedly it shows like the sun in the middle
Mm-hmm.
and like 9 orbs around it, supposedly depicting the 9 planets in the solar system. Supposedly.
Yeah.
So
that's again the thing. Was it? Like you say, it could have been. Instead of being planets, it could have been, as you say, which is back again.
yeah.
I didn't cry too long.
I'm back. What did you say? Not too long. I'm back.
I was telling Tracy that you went off probably because you're probably trying to get away, find a way to get at us. So
I was trying to book a flight.
I believe it. And when you get here, I'm gonna pop on your phone on your screen and be like, "I'm in South America. I'm not in Texas."
No, we're going to the pyramids. I was trying to get a background screen of like the pyramids behind me or me being on a plane. I'll get you after Tracy comes over next week. But Adam, you have to go to Ireland.
Well, I mean, I've been wanting to go for a long time, and like I said, that friend of mine, she's already taught me so much slang and things that y'all say over there.
Tell
and
us
like I said,
tell us some of your slang. I think I just broke my pen. Tell me your slang that you know, because I know we spoke about it 1 or 2 times. I've been teaching many Americans my my Irish slang. Potato, cabbage, and ham, and a wee bit of parsley sauce. I do. Mike Heston Rogers says it so well. What are your Irish slangs, Adam?
One of my favorites is, and she taught me this a long time ago, was "I'll clip you around the ear hole." The way she's,
I clip you around the ear hole.
Yes, she taught me that a long time ago, and I always laugh whenever she says that. And what was the last thing that she taught me? Something about a dinghy, like you call something a dinghy or something like that, and that's a dinghy or
a thingy.
A dinghy, yeah, a dinghy. Like
I don't know that
just
one.
calling some.
Anybody from Belfast up the north of Ireland watching? Do you know what that is? A dinghy, DINGY.
Right.
Okay, let me go Google. Hold on, let me go Google it.
Yeah, so just different words and different, like instead of a Jesus Christ, it's a Jesus wept.
Yeah,
that one taught me before.
Jesus wept.
Instead of ordering, you get like a burger and fries, you get burger and chips.
Burger and
You
chips.
know, it's like
Yeah.
right. You know, and instead of saying like you YOU, you say
Ye.
yeah. You know, YA. You know,
Ye.
stop.
What about ye?
Yes, right.
What
So
about
yeah, so
Mucker? Does she ever
like I
call you
said,
a
just
mucker?
My gosh.
When you're talking to
no.
her again, just say, what about ye, mucker? Mucker. It means friend. I have to.
I had this conversation with someone the other day, right? And I was actually mentioned Aiden and the way he's like, "You're right, Mucker," and I was like, "The only trouble is coming from an Irish guy saying it to a female, especially if the Irish guy's drunk and got a bit of a speech impediment." Very good.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah,
Well, like I said, I'm just glad that there's an ocean separating us. They're 6,000 miles away.
I'm not that bad. Let me just check the mileage. Hold on. I'm looking at this one here. Huh?
When me and Ray first got together and my mum met Ray, something he said to her, and she went, "Oh, I'm going to give you a punch up the bracket," and he went, "What? What?" She was like, "What's a punch up the bracket?" And I was like, "In other words, she's going to punch you in the mouth." And he went, "Oh."
You know my favorite one is, and I've said it to my girls many times, and yes, I have. What are you crying for? I'll give you something to cry about. Don't record me.
I've always liked to give over.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I'll give over. You know, yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
Would you ever give over?
We say give it a rest.
Would you ever stop? Yeah, would you ever stop?
Yeah, we say give it a rest.
Yeah, there's so many.
And one, like I think that's like one of my favorite ones, and it's like oi.
Oh,
You know, when they're trying to like flag down somebody or oi. You know, I've always loved that one.
Oi.
People always say to me, what do people call you? Like Jen, Jennifer, and I say they call me oi, Jen, something else. Oi. Yeah. Oh, if somebody says, funny thing is, right? If you're in, this is what they say. If you're in Dublin, and people say, oi, oi, Flinto. They love everyone who's in Dublin will look because everyone in Dublin is called Flinto or Flinto from Dublin. Oh, hey, gobshite, and I immediately look. It's like, no, they're not talking to me.
I like that one too.
My favorite is gobshite. I have a mug with gobshite written on it, and I've used it many times in the show, which I forgot. Like it's gobshite, it's written on it. But my favorite word is gobshite. I know we've kind of gone off paranormal, but we're talking like slangs and whatnot. What is yours, Tracy?
In London, you get oi Savoy.
What's that mean?
Oi Savoy. In other words, oi sausage. As in other words, like you're right. Like you say oi to someone to answer you, here you get oi Savoy. So Savoy is like what you get in the chip shop.
Yeah.
So a red-skinned horrible sausage type thing. I don't eat it.
That sounds fabulous.
It's called Savoy.
That sounds fabulous.
Do you have that saying over there where it's like you need a bigger hat because you didn't catch that?
I didn't hear that.
Because, yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me with what you just said, Tracy, because you said it too fast.
It goes over our head.
I'm
hear from John. My favorite hypnothesis about the pyramids is that they were, I hope I said that word right, is that they were built to be an ark. And this is where the Christians stole the Noah's Ark story from. Look at all of us. Are we thinking? Are we actually thinking? I'm looking at the next question, so I'm leaving it up to you two to answer. My favorite hypnosis.
I'm sort of just thinking like that one's just blown me.
My favorite is that, am I saying the right hypnothesis? Is that right? About the pyramid is that they were built to be an ark. And this is where the Christians stole the ark. I'm going to have to look that one up. Look it up. Now, John, you got us. John is very intelligent, and John has just gotten all of us.
Yeah, but what sort of ark? Because the only what
You have Noah's Ark.
in the ground? Yeah, but
And stationary.
one is stationary. Two, like moisture still got into the pyramids. All right, not a lot of moisture, but there was a possibility it could have. So it weren't going to save many animals, was it?
Yeah, but Noah.
Does that make sense?
An ark of human knowledge.
That's more like it. But it's
that's more like it, John. That's more like it, John. An ark of human
somewhere,
knowledge.
matey.
But they were unfinished.
Yeah. Very unfinished.
And another one that John is saying, calling inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Do you see that yoke over there? That's what we say. If you're talking about someone, and you don't have a name or anything like that for them, we just say, do you see that yoke over there?
I've not heard of that one.
It's a person we're talking about, but it's like, inanimate. It's kind of like they mean nothing. You say, do you see that yoke over there?
Oh.
Yeah, it's not really a nice thing, actually. It's not a nice thing to be called a yoke. It really is.
Oh.
No, it's not
Okay,
a nice thing. Don't say, some people say, like, you're some yoke, aren't you? It's not a nice thing to say, you're some yoke.
But I've always liked whenever y'all say whenever like someone is talking about like a group of people over there, and y'all would say you lot.
You lot.
Yeah, I always like that one. You lot.
These flies are getting bigger every year. You lot, yeah, we always say you lot and so on.
And I think my favorite one out of all the slang is get.
Yeah.
You dozy
get out of my pub.
Dozy get.
I love that one.
Yeah. Yeah, dozy get.
John saying, my uncle was a mechanic, so he would call his tools yokes. Pass me the yoke to fix the yoke.
We get thingamajig. Thingamajigs and thingaming bobs.
Yeah, pass me
even the remotes. Even the TV remotes are the thingamy bob.
Just no. Pass me the thingamajig.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus! Do we have any more sayings? Let's go. Hold on. Let's go with more sayings. Hold on. If I have a paranormal question, throw it in. But if you don't throw us in your sayings that people don't get, or the funniest saying that you've ever heard of. What?
It's just do with the thingamajig and the thingaming bob.
Pass me the yoke to fix the yoke. And that's such an Irish thing, I swear to God. That's such a bloody Irish thing.
And it's like, Mum, when you say to her, what's for dinner? If it's.
What's that?
If it's on the table, you've got it. If it ain't, you get it. And I even say that now to the grandkids when they say, Nanny, what do we have to eat? If it's not.
I was making breakfast yesterday morning, and one of my daughters wanted fried eggs, and the other daughter wanted scrambled eggs. And I said to them, how do you want your eggs done? Elsa said fried. Jessica said scrambled. And I said, so what do you want for how you want your eggs done? Elsa fried. Jessica scrambled. And I did the most Irish thing. It ain't a fucking restaurant. You don't get a menu. You pick what's given to you. And then Elsa said to me, but Mom, you asked us how did you want do you know what they both got? They both got like it was like I put it in as a fried, but I ended up scrambling it. So it's like it's fried scrambled. In
other words, the chicken had an argument with the eggs.
Oh Jesus! John is going. Good night, guys. Unfortunately, I have a job. How boring! Please, pleasure watching all of you. Adam, if you come to Ireland, I'm buying the Guinness. Yay! Oh,
well, thank you.
He'll give you some of his slow gin. He makes slow gin. God bless you, Ireland. He'll give you some of his slow gin.
And I'm saying this comfortably, because like I said many times in this show, that there's an ocean between us, and I'm saying this because of that. I'm sorry, I'm going to decline your Guinness because I don't not drink.
Well,
I don't drink alcohol.
That's okay. You can smell it. You can sniff it. But it's like Irish culture to say when you come to Ireland, we're getting you a Guinness. But if you don't drink Guinness, you're going to leave drinking Guinness.
Oh, my nan, I tried Guinness once.
You're leaving drinking Guinness, but you can smell it. If you don't drink it, you can smell it. Just hold a pint of it and take a picture with it because it's tradition. It's tradition. When you come to Ireland, you have to have a pint of Guinness and a packet of Tato beside the Guinness. It's not right, John.
I'll let y'all know when I do go.
Oh, we do Guinness zero alcohol now. Well, that's a freaking blasphemy. When did they start doing that? When did they start doing Guinness alcohol zero? Well, good for you. For me.
It's not good for Jen.
There's a fly flying around me.
I'm an alcoholic.
Blasphemy in Irish. Holy shit, what have we become?
Someone's definitely swearing at you tonight.
I know. What have we become? I think it's antihistamines. I remember going to a concert and look at that. Who said that? It's probably made in the UK too. John is a fecker.
Probably made by me in my brewery in the garden.
John is a fecker, not an F-U-C-K or F-E-C-K-E.
Well, it could have been worse.
So glad I came on tonight.
Oh, but look, we've been too long doing this. We're too long. And I said to Tracy, I said, we have Adam on tonight. I said, Adam is a sound guy. He's a wee pet.
And he's sensible.
I know. I said he's a wee pet, and I said it's going to be paranormal and UFOs, and I said he's just like my brother. He's like fabulous guy, and I knew when you come on that it would turn into something like. Listen, Adam, when you come on to this show, you never know what you're gonna get. What's that called? It's like life is like a box of chocolates. Shadow Whispers is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. It starts off professional and then it ends up like this. Oh, Sherry.
I'm having a ton of fun. A lot of fun tonight.
Sherry was taking it out. I told you, I knew I'd get him in the clasp of my hands.
Oh, yes.
So, honey.
Chocolate on the outside and all nuggety on the inside.
John, for watching. Thank you so much, John. John has to go to bed. He's working tomorrow. But John adopted a new dog. I'm going to tell you very quickly, if John is still here, he adopted a new dog. He's almost adopted a new dog, a little stray that came into him. Fabulous little dog. And John's place is like a haven. Like it is just, oh my goodness. I mean, if I go down, I told him, John, if you're still here, I'm having squatters' rights. Okay. And if you're not here, I'm going to replay this part for you tomorrow. I have squatters' rights when I come down to your home. You and your goes home. I'm coming down to your home. I'm going to have squatters' rights. Thank you very much. And I'll have some of your slow gin, please. Thank you very much. So
it's brewed made in China, not the UK.
What is? I'm looking at a fly on my screen. It's getting bigger. Say that again, Tracy.
I said, and his Guinness ain't made in the UK. Oh. It's made in China.
Don't you? Are we?
Don't go next week, Tracy. Don't go next week. Don't go.
Are we trying to rile me up? Are we trying to rile me up?
Well, let so why not that? It was in a
Tracy, I'm getting Guinness for you. I'm getting Guinness for you next week. I know you don't drink.
You'll be clearing up my puke, mate.
Listen, I have a dog to do tonight.
No, I can't. My nan gave me, when I was pregnant with my husband, entire mouthful. I literally weren't even a mouthful. And I was like, nah.
Then I'll have one for you. Does Ray drink it?
He don't drink, does he? Same as me.
Then I'll just have to drink it for you.
Okay.
I'll drink what I got in for you.
The non-alcoholic one.
I'm not shite in my house. That'll be blasphemy having that non-alcohol Guinness. Listen, I will do a lot of things, but I ain't doing that. We're gonna put a stop on a lot of stuff, but that's the one I'm putting a stop on. No non-alcohol Guinness. I have no words to say. I just know that.
Almost 2 hours into this live, and like ever since you invited me on to be at a show, like I expected to hear some choice words that would make me be like, mm-mm.
No, we don't do
There
that.
she goes again. You know what? I'm out.
Is that for me? Is that for me?
And yes, and being on the live now, I understand, but I'm sure if there was like a private chat, I'm sure I'd be hearing all those words that you Irish women like to throw out and give me, makes me glad I'm on this side of the ocean.
No,
I'm here in America.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay, now I'm getting more scared. I'm gonna like cover up the screen now. Tracy, how's I like your wallpaper.
I hope
it's on the calm one, you see.
I forgot the subtitles now. Subtitles, holy God, subtitles. But they can't do it because I have it on mute. So
look at the lip going up like Sylvester Stallone.
I'm done.
Oh, I feel so much better. Jesus Lord, thank you so much.
They would need to bring out that whenever you speak, they would need to have that black bar going across your mouth and the beep, 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 beep.
I just muted myself and said everything that I needed to say. Hold on. I'm not finished yet. Hold on.
Oh, dear me. We got every single bit of that.
I'm not even going to try to. I don't even want to imagine every single word you just said.
Oh, dear me.
But let's just say I feel much better. I feel much better now for getting it all off my chest.
And you always think they say East End girls are worse. Oh, you Irish women, see?
No, Chris, it wouldn't be funny if the mute came off. No. my hand slipped a bit. No, Chris. Absolutely not. No.
That would have been awesome if it did.
So if she does it next week, I'll make sure I'll stick it off.
Could you imagine that I was still going on? Because I was talking about Guinness and non-alcohol. And how the bleep is not coming into my bleeping house. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Is what's that called? Sari still on? Sari working?
She is.
Unmute, Sherry.
Here. Did I get at him?
I'm scared.
Oh no! Don't be scared, Adam. We're amongst friends. Don't be scared. Is there anything? Because I know you have to leave now. I know you have to leave because we've got 5-10 minutes left. I know we started late.
A little bit.
That's just Jenny. That's Jenny being our Irish time is. If I say I'm going to be there at 9:30, I'm going to be there at 9:45, give or take 15 minutes. I don't do it hard.
That's why she moved the times later originally.
I don't do it often.
Like 2 hours ago, 4 hours ago.
I was a fecker today, and do you know what? I had a great sleep last night, but I woke up and I fell asleep again, and I had a dream that I looked at my kitchen window and I seen the neighbors had the Christmas lights up. Don't know. And I was like, oh my God, I want to put my Christmas tree up. But I'm thinking of putting my Christmas tree up, but having Halloween decorations on it. Tracy, don't look at me like that. But I put it up, like I put up 134 days, whatever it was, to Christmas, and I tagged my friend here in Drogheda who loves Christmas. And I tagged her in it, knowing that it would annoy a lot of people, and I love to do it. I'm not going to say, no, I don't. I do. So I knew people like, kind of like, you know, probably like I got a pain on my back, a pain on my arm, and I think it was a voodoo doll that was sticking pins into me. And they said to me, Jenny, because I am traditionally every year, Adam, that my Christmas tree lights, I cut off my tree because I just don't, I put lights on, but I don't take them off because it gets too tangled. So I'm like there with a glass of wine with my scissors at the end of Christmas so I can cut the lights off my tree. And people are saying to me, make sure it's unplugged first. Make sure it's unplugged. I unplug it before I pour myself a glass of wine. But then... the two of the girls said to me, Jenny, you better get out there and start buying yourself Christmas lights, because they know every year I have no lights. But guess what? They're here right beside me, because I said to the girls, the tree may be in the attic, because I bought myself a fabulous new tree and ornaments and lights. This year, I managed to keep last year's lights. And they're here beside me on the floor. And the only reason why they are there is because I think they're semi-untangled, but the lead is caught underneath the wheel of the computer table. So I said, I'm not arsed to get on my hands and knees to undo these. So my Christmas tree lights are there. And I plugged them in yesterday to see if they work. And it was like, Jenny, did it work? And I said, yes. It was like oohs and ahs because it was working. I'm like, oh my God, I need my Christmas tree. I need my Christmas tree. But I didn't put it up. But I had a dream then last night. Someone had, a neighbor had their Christmas tree lights up. And I was like, oh my God, already? So I can do mine. But anyway, enough of that. Oh my God, I talk about Christmas too much, way too much. Eyes are watery. What is your favorite time of the year, Adam? Apart from Halloween, even though if Halloween is your favorite time of the year, what is your favorite season and time of celebration of the year?
Besides Halloween, when it's cold.
Oh,
when it's winter.
I am so winter. And I was so afraid to say it because people are like, dagging at me saying, oh, we love the summer. No. I love winter.
Especially when it's cold and when it rains while it's cold. Like that you're there is perfect. 60 degrees with like a good rain.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Mm-hmm. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, because you obviously don't live in Ireland or the UK. So you're happy to get the rain.
Right. I mean, this is Texas. We hardly get rain. It's all heat and hot and humidity. And like whenever like the guys come on the news, they'll be like, oh, there's a chance of rain tomorrow. It's more like people watching is like, we'll see it when we believe it. Yes. We're going to go with the rain chances.
Yes. So. Yes. I mean, I know Gillian was saying tonight, down in the south of Ireland, she's about 2 hours away from me, and she's saying, Jenny, the lightning has started here. I'm grabbing my gin and tonic, and I'm going into my neighbour's garden, hiding in the shed. I don't give a shit. I'm going into my neighbour's garden. I have a fear of thunder and lightning, and my kids are not here tonight, so it'll be music up, and I'll be listening to music, and if it does happen here, which I mean, I hope she's lying. I do hope she's lying.
She sent us the video to show proof.
Did she? Gillian did. No, she didn't.
Yes, she has.
She didn't hurt behind, did she?
Yes, she has.
Is that Gillian's place? Is it happening?
Yes.
Did Gillian send it on to you? Did she send it on to me?
It's in the message between me and you. And Gillian.
Gillian's?
Yeah.
Oh, she did send a video, but I didn't open it yet.
Oh, there's a lightning.
Gillian, how dare she? Oh my God. Let me just go top of my gin and tonic. Hold on.
That was sent that ages ago.
Really? I know she did, but I didn't see that she had sent it.
Yes.
Oh, the Lord suffering Jesus. Jesus wept, Adam. Jesus wept.
There we go. Well, if all of y'all and Jillian can like push the rain across the Atlantic and over here to Texas. I'd
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Oh, we will.
Once I've had some first.
Listen, I'm looking at my weather forecast here now. So far, we're good. Oh, 4 p.m. tomorrow it's thunder and lightning, but that's okay. As long as it's not tonight. Tomorrow is, oh yeah, we've got 2 thunder and lightning strikes. Oh yeah, boy hit. Yep. I mean, I have a fear. You see, these things of the fear, like what is your, y'all know my fear is thunder and lightning and heights and planes. It is
Like-
a huge thing. What is your fear, Adam? What is your big fear? When people say to you, oh, you'll be fine. What is your fear that debilitates you sometimes?
That's a good question.
See, when you have to think, you don't have one automatically. That's a good thing.
Well, when I flew to Kansas, before that, it had been like 20 years since I've flown. And I remember we were on the plane. I was sitting there by the window. They gave me a window seat. They turned on the airplane, hear the engine starting.
Oh,
and we're moving. And we're starting to go forward. And at that, for like a moment or two, I started like, am I really sitting here stuck in this plane with it starting to move? Yes, I am. Holy cow. But after a moment or two, I'm like, just go with it. You know, it's not so much it's not so much the landing, it's the taking off that I'm kind of nervous about.
Can I just say, because Tracy's making faces here, Tracy's first time ever on a plane is going to be next Friday when she comes over to Ireland. She's never been on a plane before, and she's coming over to Ireland to me next Friday. I'm so excited for her to experience it. Because I know I freaking hated it. I had gin and tonic and Xanax. I'll be praying for you.
Oh, Jesus. I'll be having a panic attack like I do. Well, Chris will tell you. Me, it's trees.
But you know what? No, I'm joking when I say that. It is an experience. And when I go flying, I enjoy it when I'm like 60,000 feet in the air. But then I've had a few gin and tonics in me. So I was like, woohoo, I'm having a party. But then... I do, I really do. But then when I go to the bathroom and then I'm walking, like, you know, going to the bathroom, and then I realize
she's on her own.
There's nothing below my feet. Nothing below my feet. And then when you go to the bathroom, Tracy, flush that toilet. You just flush that toilet, but don't flush it until you're up in the air because it's fun.
Right, don't worry, I can wait until I get to the other end.
The first time I flushed that toilet, I thought it sucked the soul from my behind. It went, but it was so loud, it was noisy, and I shit not. It was like when I first went on the plane, and I won a holiday to Spain. I won a holiday to Canary on a Friday night, and I had to go flying on the Saturday night, and I won a holidays. You know, do you have passports? Yes. Do you have money? Yes. We had none of either. Do you have time off work? Yes. We had none of all the three. We got emergency passports. We borrowed money off my ex-boyfriend's mom, and I worked for a nun. So I just took the time off without telling her. So I know I shouldn't really do that, shouldn't I? But I did. But anyway, we got onto that plane, and I was like, you know, had a few gin and tonics, whatever. Went to the bathroom, flushed the toilet, thinking like, you know, it'll flush like a normal toilet. It sucked the soul. If I had any evil inside me, it was sucked from me. It was like I had gained I had jumped out of my body, and a new person jumped into the skin that I was wearing. It was loud, and it was scared the bejesus out of me. So, yes, Tracy, do me a favor, just to experience the toilet flushing in the mid-air.
Are you crazy?
Do it for me.
Crazy woman. Jesus, you're back crazy. No way. Like this on the seat, not moving.
Gone.
You're gonna stay glued to your seat.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when I
Just-
go onto the flight,
Oh, Chris, can you tell I'm going to be having a panic attack like this now?
No,
Like-
listen, 24 hours in the sky. If I wake up, just remember to sit there. Oh, she's awake. Okay. She's back to sleep again for another like 12 hours.
Chris knows me personally and knows the way I go into panic mode when it's like I'm surrounded by trees. Like, you know, he knows what I'm like there.
Jeez.
And like, that'll be me next week, Chris.
You'd be good. Honest to God. Think that you're coming over to Ireland. Think you're getting out of the UK for the first time and you're coming over to Ireland for the first time. And
you just told me to suck the soul out of me.
Because I was gonna say I felt bad for describing how I felt taking off, but now I don't feel bad for what Jenny was just talking about and with the toilet and
I'm just going to start calling you Ozzy.
They stole the soul from you. Yeah, the flight, Chris, the flight is about an hour, and people say to me, "You'll be up and down." And granted, I did on the way up. You know, when I walk into every flight I go on to, and they say, "Welcome aboard, welcome aboard," and I'm like, "Welcome, whatever." And so there was one time I was in. Chris is about an hour from UK to Ireland, and you know, we heard this in the airport, right? We couldn't hear what was going on because I was in the pub having a drink. It that vodka and Coke cost me €360 because we missed the flight. And then we did, and then we had to go and pay for the next flight. But anyhow, every flight I get onto and they say, "Welcome aboard." And I walk up the steps of the airplane and people are walking behind me and I stand to the side, stuck my stomach in. Go ahead. And they all think, does she work here? Does she work here? And she's standing in the middle of the steps. Go ahead. So do you ever see that cat in Puss in Boots? The way he looks like, you know, doughy eyes, whatever, holding his hat. I'm standing like that, right? Listen, no, I'm standing like that.
Puss in Boots, love.
I am standing right when I get to the top of the steps, right? And then you have this big, thick door and the air stewardess standing there. I'm like looking and I almost tried to knock the window of the cockpit. They did. Code red. We have another one. Going on our flight. So I get onto the flight and they say, "Welcome aboard." And I'm like, "I'm afraid." And they say, "You're afraid of what?" I'm like, "I'm afraid to fly." They're like, "Oh, Jesus, code red. We have another one." They offer me everything. And every single flight. I even got to sit in the cockpit at one point when we landed. Not when we were flying. Jesus, I would have anyway. So when we were sitting, there was many times sitting on a plane going over to Birmingham and we were going through turbulence. My sister went to the bathroom and I was like, and I was handed a piece of paper with the seat, and it was paper with medication on it to tell me what to get from my doctors. My wife takes these. It's okay. I'm already on Xanax. I'm good. Uh-huh. And then another one, she came up to me on the runway and she said, the air stewardess, before we were taking off, and you're not allowed to serve alcohol. She came up to me, put her hand in my lap. "Are you okay?" I said, I don't know. And she handed me, on my lap, she secretly put 2 mini vodkas and 2 Cokes. Red. But that was on the same flight when someone handed me a piece of paper of medication to take. But as we were leaving, she goes, "That'll be €20, please, for the 2 vodkas." I thought you were like, what? I thought you would kind of keep me sane on the flight, but no, she charged me for, doesn't matter. I got your number. Doesn't matter. But anyway, there was so many, I was on another flight and I think I had everyone praying because we're coming from Scotland. We were going through a turbulence and I was like, "Oh, Jesus, Mother of Mary and Joseph." And I was kind of going crazy. And I think everyone was praying at the time because we were just trapped. Anybody want to fly with me?
No.
I'm fun. Adam, get your face back in that camera. Get your face back in that camera.
This way.
I'm having problems listening, hearing. Here we go.
There we go again.
I'm going to keep these on right now. So Tracy, your wallpaper, huh?
It's lovely, isn't it?
I'm back.
Oh, dear Chris.
I'm just glad that if I have to go over there, I'll be flying that way. And there's no reason for Jenny to be on the plane with me going that way.
Hmm.
So I think I'm good.
I was supposed to be on a flight to
Still
Chicago
paying
in a
me
minute and a
next
half.
week.
I'm like, oh. Huh? What did you say, Tracy, you'll be fine. Don't listen to me. I remember when I was flying to England with my 2 children, and we kind of like the plane was kind of going tilting sideways, and I had I had Xanax, and I was telling my daughter, but I was really good. And I was telling my daughter, I said, listen, when the plane goes like this, it's just like a car going around a roundabout. It's nothing. And then my ex-husband was looking at me saying, oh my God, you didn't even know you were flying by talking to the girls because Jessica was a little bit nervous.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I took over because I needed to make sure my children were okay because Jessica was a little bit nervous. And I did mommy job. But when mommy's, no, Chris, it's not like being on a bus. No, Chris, it's not like being on a bus. It's like being on a bus 60, 70,000 feet in the air. Well,
That's the bit that I don't like, the thought of being that high up. Although the one thing I want to do is like climb right to the tip of a crane.
I'm looking at,
and
sorry.
Sit there and look out. But
I've just noticed Chris's picture. Sorry, Tracy. I've noticed Chris's picture. Chill, and they've covered his arse. Chris, is that really you?
Yeah, that's Chris.
Is that really Chris's arse? Chris, I can give you. Is that I can wax you? Wax your. Oh dear, Chris. Yes, it is. Don't look down. Too late, Chris. Too late. Too late.
You've got the wax strips ready for you, Chris. You're in trouble.
Chris, are you flying over too?
No, when you come over here.
Oh, I will. I'll bring my wax. I don't.
Yeah,
wax, but I'm a dog groomer. I'm a dog groomer, so I can bring my clippers over.
Because when me and Chris can, we do get together, don't we? And we do work together.
Yeah. Chris, I'm gonna.
Well, I was gonna say.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
I was gonna say, don't they have ferries that go across right there?
They do.
I wanted to go on the ferry. I did want to go by sea, but I got told no because it will take about 6.5, 7 hours. That's fine.
It doesn't take that long, does it?
Well, it would for us.
Oh, yeah, because you have to. Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it would, because I remember going from Pembroke over to. I had to go to Wales, Pembroke to Wales, and then Wales to London, where my sister lived.
Yeah.
And it's a day's drive. It really is. So you'll be losing a day out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was funny. I do. That was quite funny. I think it's antihistamines that's gotten to me tonight. Flying sod the boat.
Chris, she is doing the boat when she's coming over here. Because
I'll be doing the boat. Oh, I might just go to Dublin Airport. It's about 40 minutes away from me, 45 minutes away from me. So I just get a flight over. But I mean, I'll be having a Xanax. That's for sure.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
And
how?
Because I was gonna say because I'm looking at the map and you'll be landing in Dublin.
Yeah.
Tracy, and then from okay, I see. Yeah, because so I'm looking at the map. I have to look it up. I'm looking at the map right now and seeing where you would be at.
Dublin to Drogheda. How long does it say it is from Dublin to Drogheda? Did you check that out? Dublin Airport.
I didn't go that far.
Let me see. Okay, hold on. Are we all typing it?
Dublin Airport to.
Okay, Dublin Airport to Drogheda. It's 30 minutes.
Yeah, by car.
Yeah, by car, 30 minutes from Dublin Airport to Drogheda. 30 minutes. So we're right beside it. So when the planes change the landing pads, and it's never over most of the time it's not over my house, but when they do change it, and then it comes over my house, I'm like, do we have to run out of the house? I just do that thing because the planes are too low. And then I know when we go to the landing, the side of the road in Dublin where we see the planes landing and taking off, And we did it a few times for me to listen to the noise of the engine, because when I'm in the plane and the engine starts speeding up, then that's when I'm kaput.
I mean,
I'm done.
we have got a local airport to where I am, like Southend, which is 20-minute drive from mine. But they don't do direct flights from there to Dublin. For us to go from Southend, we would go from Southend up to Liverpool and then across. We would have to do that flight. So to do that, so yeah, be easy if they did it, because I could just drive like 20 minutes up the road, jump on a plane. But they don't do a direct flight from Southend.
But that's kind of like when I went to Kansas. Like Kansas is like northeast, but like they put me. I guess it was like the only flight that they had. They had me going from Texas going towards Colorado, which is west, and then from Colorado going from Colorado going to Kansas, which is east. And I guess that's the only flight that they had going to the small town I was going to.
Right.
Because like a friend of mine, she said she was going to that event, but they had her like on the flight landing like, I think it was like an hour away. And I told him like, dude, I was able to find a flight where I got dropped off in that city. And I just took an Uber to my hotel room, which is right there next to the event, to the building we were at. So I'm like, I don't know what airline or flight they gave you, but
no,
I'm good, you know.
Chris is saying, before we have to go, because we have to go because it's like 2 hours, and I know this show is on after us. I have heard that the Irish Sea can be rough. I'd rather be in the sky. Yes, it can be rough. I've done it before from Pembroke over, and it was rough. But as I've said to a friend of mine before, you know, what's the difference between going on a boat and flying? The difference is flying, God forbid if anything happened, these ears ain't going to carry me in that sky, as big as they are and as much as they stick out. They're not going to fly me in that air for too long. If the God forbid if the boat goes down, I can swim, and these might float me up a little bit, but I can swim a little bit, you know. But Dumbo ain't going to keep me up in the sky. No, that's not happening. But at least I have a chance more of getting on a dinghy and swimming away rather than a plane and riding it. No. And that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm sticking to. I can swim, but I cannot fly. As much as these look like I can, I can't. Okay? So we're going to, Adam, where can people find you? If they're looking you up, where can they find you?
On Facebook, just Adam Ramos, just like that.
Just like that. Larry Grayson.
I mean, well, because like for me, like I'm not part of an official team or anything like that. I'm just me, you know. I go with different teams. I go with different people here and there. But you know, but I'm into all this stuff. I'm just not part of like an official team.
Yeah, I've seen you in a few lives, and I've commented on a few lives that you've been on. I was like, hey, and you know what? The next time you go on, I'm going to say a few jokes. I'm going to say, do you see that yoke over there? Will you tell her to move it?
And I'll be typing, oi, oi, Savaloy.
I tell you when he goes live.
I'm glad you would be typing it, Tracy, because I feel like hearing you talk more, I would be like, can you slow down again with what you just said?
Oi.
You see, touche, Adam, touche. I have never seen this side of Adam. We like it. Go on, Adam. Big up the Adam.
Because, like I said, I understand you Irish women more just from knowing that friend of mine, which I'm still scared of. Which even though I'm 6,000 miles away, I'm still scared of y'all.
Hey, but mine ain't nothing. Mine ain't nothing, Adam. See this? Go on. Anyway, continue talking about Tracy. I want to know.
Just continue about me. Go on.
So your wallpaper, Tracy, is Your wallpaper. Wait, was that a Diet Pepsi?
No. Was it?
Oh, Sherry, thank you so much for watching. I swear to God, between hay fever, eyes watering, and laughing, I swear to God. God has been- I should read that. I should read that. Listen, used to. I'm shutting used to off now in 2 seconds. I swear to God, my freaking eyes. I'm shutting used to off. Oh, Sherry, thank you so much for watching. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. My God, it was so funny. Tracy, why are you reading that book? Did Ray see it?
You can just about see me, let alone read my book. No, my mum give it to me. I don't know what that one is.
Oh, Lord. Right. Okay. Right. We are. Oh, my goodness. He's a fecker. Before we go, because I'll be getting a mail in 2 seconds saying, Jenny, come off the live. There's someone else coming in. Tell us your favorite joke.
Me wallpaper.
Bam.
I'll tell you mine. What's a walk? What's a walk?
What are you talking about?
You gotta say to me, no. You got. When I say
No,
what's
no,
a walk,
Jenny, what is a
what's a walk? Something you throw at a rabbit. Should I say it again? What's a walk? Something you throw at a rabbit. Listen, that's my joke. Anyway, oh, Sherry, we'll be back next week. Tracy will be in Ireland next Saturday night. Friday night. She'll be in Friday morning. She'll be in Ireland next Friday morning. She'll come to stay with me. I'm going to take her to Leap Castle, Redwood Castle, Millmount Museum. We will be going live throughout it. Tracy probably might not want to be in camera, but listen, she's in Ireland. She's going to listen to what I say to you. Okay?
Good luck, Tracy. Good luck.
Oh dear. Thank you.
Okay. So yes, she will be. Okay,
I'll send a team to come find you.
Perfect. That's then the aliens. They won't ever find me.
I'll bring it to Newgrange. Newgrange is 8 minutes away from me, Tracy. I'll bring it to Newgrange.
That's all right. I think I need it.
We'll put it on.
Over here, it's called
What?
I said we've got one here called Runwell.
What is it called?
Runwell, we've got.
Really?
Yeah, we've got one called Runwell.
Is it like Newgrange?
Oh dear.
Okay, Tracy's all heated up. Right, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much, Adam.
Yes,
Adam, it was a blast. It was a blast.
Absolutely.
It was such a funny night, incentive night, intuitive night. Funny night. Thank you so much. It's been a long time because we kept saying it. When are you coming on? When are you coming on?
Mm-hmm.
Like this date, that date, and we finally did it. We finally did it tonight, and I knew it would be a blast. I knew it would.
Same here.
Tracy is always my fabulous. I love you, my fabulous sister from another mister. Me and Tracy next Friday we're going to get matching tattoos here in Ireland.
Yes,
we're going to get matching tattoos, but we're not going to show it until we get them done. Next week we won't be live. We won't have a show. We will be live and locate. No, we won't be live on the Friday night because we're going to be in Millmount and in my house. Saturday night we will be live at some point, but not live investigation, just a live doing, Leap Castle and so on. Bad reception. So we're going to say good night, Adam. Thank you so much. You're a wee pet. You're a wee pet. You're a bit of a yoke, but you're a wee pet.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Sorry, say that again. No. Hold on. Say that again because my finger went click happy. Sorry, my finger went click happy. Sorry. My finger went click happy and it just went on and off again. Say it again. Sorry. So sorry.
Thank you for having me on. And you guys are awesome. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much. You see, when I put my finger on the button, my nerve clicks, it goes like this, and I'm like, oh my God, everyone goes off. There you go. It's the Jenny Show. God knows what she says. So anyway, good night. God bless. Have a great night, safe night, and we will catch in with you when we're back on. Good night.
Good night, everybody.